wrestling fans, it is now time to enter Main Event City!
All right. Hey, welcome back to Journey Pro and an awful lot of professional wrestlers and people present a match made in hell. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much for joining.
Yeah, we did it.
Hooray. We received, we rised above hate today. We have made our way through it. We have very exciting things. We have a new person that we announced was going to join us, and then here as the story starts, we will introduce a very, very surprise guest, which should be represented, I believe, on your screen by a question mark in some direction left putting. But first, Sarah the Rebel, say hello to the Zweihander crew and everybody.
Hello to the Zweihander crew. I'm so happy I know now how to pronounce that word because I've been saying it wrong for a minute. Hi.
Hola.
How were you pronouncing it before?
Zweihander.
Oh, that's close enough. It's just like it's like German for the two-handed sword, like nightmare, like nightmare and Soul Calibur. That's a Zweihander that he's wielding.
Okay, I get that reference. Yeah.
I understood. I was born in Germany. I just, none of it sunk in. Didn't absorb anything but the bread.
Or I think Siegfried was the other guy in Soul Calibur that had it, because Nightmare was like Siegfried's.
I mean,
I don't know.
He had the Soul Calibur.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the. There you go. So an etymology of name. That's my cat that just wandered behind me. The cat will be playing Zweihander with. Can't stop him. That's Ruckus. But
can't stop the Ruckus.
Yeah. Big night for Shug, aka Pineapple Pete. Tell us, man. Tell us what we're going to be tuning into as soon as this is done.
You're going to be tuning into me wrestling somebody that I idolized since like Lionheart Chris Jericho. So I'm very, very nervous. Very nervous. But I guess the only thing that I could really say to anybody out there about that is if you've got a dream, hold on to that shit very tightly because you never know what might come of it. So yeah, that's it. That's all I got.
Very cool. Yes, we got snaps from Sophie. Thank you. So what do you say? Do you want to jump back into this adventure? We got to make sure that we stop on time. So you got to get ready for that match.
I mean, that's why I said I found a secluded area to be able to do this. They're gonna talk shit about me later for like doing this like before we're supposed to go live. But yeah.
You got to handle your nerves, man.
I was thinking that was really weird for you to be doing this right before the match.
Oh no, they're gonna talk shit. But, like, I made commitments. Let's get this done.
Love it. I appreciate you.
Right.
Love it.
I love y'all. Yeah.
So I want one of the players who played last time, so that can be either Shug, Sophie, Sheik, or Anton, to give a very brief, like, couple minute synopsis of what happened in the last session. Who wants to do that?
So we were traveling, and we were like, "Hey, here comes a storm. A bunch of clouds are rolling in." And like a fog, and we were like, let's get ahead of it. And it was like, it's already ahead of you. And we were like, cool, let's go toward it. That's right. That sounds like the same thing. And then we found a house, and like a kid attacked us, and we were like, kill this kid. And then he was like, I'm a halfling. And we were like, oh, that's weird. And then we killed him. And
for the record, I was against the whole going in the house and killing the kid thing. I just pulled back, but y'all did do that.
Now you with the click. If we did it, you did
it. No, that's hard to argue with. No, I don't. No blood on my hands.
So yeah, that's pretty much what happened. You were attacked by some sort of strange demonic figure. You slayed it. Actually, Actually, Anton's Lincoln Bright Eyes, the entertainer, got a really good shot with his sword that cut deep into the neck and took it down. And that's when they examined the body and found out that it was, in fact, not a child. It was a halfling adult. Something had gone terribly wrong. And as you looked up, you realized that the area had gone quiet and the wind had stilled and the red fog was rolling in over you very, very fast and about to overtake this homestead here. And that is where we will begin. So what would you like to do?
I would say up front, Dave is really processing this halfling death in general still. So somebody else he's not going to charge into something right now. He's going to follow whoever makes something happen.
Well, I just want to say that as the person who was cool-headed and hung back, that it was fine when y'all were just killing a kid, but this is clearly some halfling person. This was a full adult that we should feel more responsibility about, or maybe worse, or maybe we could get in trouble for this. So it's time to start thinking about tracks, what we're going to do with this body. Lincoln, you should probably lay low if you have any relatives you can stay with. But yeah, I'm not getting caught up for this.
Spoken like a true rogue. First and foremost, we have to find out what has possessed this halfling, because it had a strength that a halfling usually doesn't have. So this requires more examination. I have to know, I must know, and I want to examine the body.
All right, you want to get down and take a look at the body, and all right. Yeah, go ahead and make me there is a check that I specifically want you to make for that. That would roll me a D100 basically, Shug, and I'll get my character sheet up here.
Okay.
Scrutinize, that's the word I'm looking for.
All about that scrutiny. And I keep forgetting every time, higher or lower is good.
You want to roll below the number. So whatever your perception percentage chance is, plus 10% if you have a skill rank in scrutinize.
Okay. And I do.
All right.
So boom, plus scrutinize. Okay, I rolled a 36.
Okay. And what is your scrutinize percent chance? I'm sure that you succeeded, but
yeah, it's like 70.
Right. So yeah, it's okay. This body smells like rot. It's very obvious to figure out, and as you kind of look closer to the blood has all like coagulated, even like underneath where the wound was. Like this was not a healthy adult anything. And as you're close to the ground and you're examining it, you clearly have picked up that this was not a living thing when it was put down. You hear, and this has been so unusual because of the dead silence and the lack of animals, you hear the crunching of footfalls coming very, very nearby at sort of a rapid pace, and it's more than one set.
Well, for the record, gents and ladies, you don't have to feel bad about him being dead, because I feel like this is already. But before we have a chance to, I don't know, cry, commiserate, be upset about it, perhaps we might want to pay attention to whatever is coming towards us right now at a very rapid pace.
So as you all look up in the direction that your investigator has indicated, a couple of figures start to break through the trees, and considering there's still light outside, it becomes clear that these are two halflings that are coming through, and particularly considering what that is. One of them looks covered nearly like waist high in blood and is carrying a set of weapons, one in each hand, has clearly been through some sort of hell. And Sarah, why don't you describe to them what they see?
You see me, a very beautiful husky halfling with red hair and violet eyes. I'm a young adult, and I came to slay. And I've been slaying all day.
Ooh, girl.
It seems like business is good. But Shenzi is not alone. And with that, I am very excited to announce a guest player that we have joining us. But there is another halfling with her that actually Dave the Ogre recognizes. It seems that your past has followed you. So, if Matt can hear me, go ahead and reveal our very special mystery player. Please welcome Quinn McKay with us to the game. Yay!
Ah.
Hi. I don't know if
Quinn,
I'm automatically muted or unmuted, or if I'm good to go, or what.
I can hear you. I think everybody can hear you. So we're. So yeah, welcome to. Thank you so much for joining us. We're very excited to have you.
I'm really excited.
Yeah. So tell us what everybody sees kind of nearby as the two of you break through the forest tree line.
Okay, so you see my companion covered in blood. Honestly, I'm not really sure what that's about. My name is Jack. I'm a socialite. I carry throwing knives, and I'm incredibly charming. I have sienna-colored hair, which I have been led to believe is like some sort of red color with maybe some nice highlights or balayage. And other than that, that's all you need to know.
So wherever you have come in, clearly halflings have started to become a very quick part. A kind of an overwhelming number of halflings have entered into the fray in the last 10 minutes for you, Dave.
Friends.
A lot of things have. So that being said, you see a motley, blood-covered sort of open-eyed group that has clearly just been involved in something and is clearly out of their element out here in the middle of nowhere at this farm. So the two of you see these four. What do you
I would
do?
like to say, y'all look real guilty. I want to say that right away.
I think you look excellent.
I'm gonna discreetly wipe the blood off of my sword.
Hold yourself, good sir. Like, I will not be called guilty by apparently a stranger that's waist deep in blood. I would need you two ladies to identify yourselves before we have to clarify ourselves physically.
Identify myself. You see all this blood? I'll add blood to the upper half too. I'm not scared of nothing. But anyway, my name is Shenzi. I'm looking for things to slay. Have you seen any?
I literally just told you everything about me. I don't understand it.
You came to slay. Where were you about 5 minutes ago?
Well, I don't know. If you were warriors worth your salt, maybe you would note by the state of the blood on my legs that has not yet coagulated that I was just murdering something.
Yeah, I don't know about any of you guys, but I was the only one that I think that was actually invited here. So if you could just catch us up on what's been going on and why you're trying to discreetly wipe your sword. I don't know why you think we're going to be affected by blood. Look at her. She's literally covered in blood right now. Brother, we've seen blood.
Also, I'm a woman, you know.
Sorry.
So the two of you on the road kind of got overtaken by this same reddish fog and sort of the horrors within. And quite frankly, there's something in this mist that is wrong. And you have killed 3 of them on your way here. You both ran into each other, quickly realized, hey, you're also not dead, and have found your way here. So you have been killing all day, as you mentioned.
So I'm sorry, Jack, was it? You were invited to this house with the dead, creepy child that's not a kid? This is where you're supposed to be, here.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know about a dead, creepy child, but there was supposed to be a party, and I was supposed to get an inheritance.
There was a party. It was a murdering children party, and apparently only one kid was invited, so not the best.
But there was
I've ever been to.
no money though. There was no money there.
We haven't really looked around. We were murdering children, mind you.
Wait, I have a very important question. Do you think that we're children?
I think you're
I'm
grumpy.
trying not to think as much as possible.
As I've told everyone before with my astute, keen eye, that was not a child. It was a grown man. The stature may be of a child, but it was a grown man. And that man had been dead for a very long time before we got to him.
What do you mean it was a grown man you thought was a child? You mean did you kill Halfling?
Well, see what
Yeah,
I think
catch
is
up.
that you guys have seen some violent halflings. We've seen some violent halflings. I'm sure whoever is here for your party is probably, somewhere else. But we've got a situation that affects all of us. Maybe, do you know why there's all these crazy dead things that need to be chopped down? Because we're a little bit lost at the moment.
No.
Dave kind of sidesteps, makes sure that the heap of thing on the ground is very visible and kind of gestures at it vaguely and says, "We got this far."
Yep. That's a dead halfling.
Dave,
That's
as you
attribution
look over
and
the
first
line
thing
at the
he's
houses,
all he's got.
you can see that fog is probably now about 50 yards away from enveloping you.
So
And
if we're done having a party of observations, very late observations, if I might add, it may be the safest to actually hear me out, go inside the house, and we can figure it out.
We're not inside. Where am I?
you guys have just been standing outside the doorway at the front of this farmhouse because that's where the halfling attacked. And that is where you laid it down and you saw the fog rolling in. So you're basically in the threshold of the doorway.
I mean, it's completely up to the rest of you. I'll be inside. Maybe they might have a kettle. We'll figure it out. I'll see you guys in there.
Ooh, a kettle. I haven't seen one of those in like a year. I follow him into the house. Blood squelching with every step I take.
Oh, squelching.
Descriptors.
All right. So the rest of you come into the house and take shelter from the fog. And all right. You come inside, easily looking about. It doesn't take more than a second for one of you to find a lantern that actually has oil in it, like it's been maintained or been used for a while. Do you want to take the dead halfling in with you or leave it on the stoop?
I might be able to identify this dead halfling.
You want to take a look at the Jack gets down to observe the face and features. He's withered and the skin is gray where once it was like ruddy from all the time he had spent in the sun. And it looks like his face is like bloodless and a lot older than you can imagine. But this is your great uncle Liam. You know him.
Well,
or at least what used to be him.
Obviously R.I.P. Maybe we should take him inside. And I mean, I could bury this guy later if we have the time, I guess. I would really appreciate it. It would mean a lot to me if we could take the corpse of my dead relative into the...
You know, as much as I respect uncles, and I do, I so much respect for uncles, I just think the body will stay cooler, better outside, and thus better preserved for us to come back and bury in a few minutes if we could just not.
So, again, devil's advocate. So we've already killed something that's already dead. Condolences to your uncle and all.
Thank you.
But we've killed something that's already dead. Yeah. And you're going to leave it outside, out of our view, so that there's a possibility that, I don't know, a fog might come around, possibly resurrect the body, and we have to do the work all over again. You already missed the party once. That's rather not a party I'd like to be invited back to again, if you don't mind. So,
theme of a scientific sort, wouldn't you be more interested to see that if we took the body in the house, you would know for certain if the red fog reanimated it?
Y'all talking real crazy right now. I am a slayer. I have years of experience with one thing, and that is murder. And if you
slay it in the house.
I will slay it when it tries to break through the door, like whatever this mist is that's coming.
Women! Oh, I swear.
Okay, we can go in the house. It's fine. We can leave my dead uncle out here. It's cool. I don't care.
Meanwhile, those inside the house, you've been able to find and get the lantern lit so that the place is illuminated and no other mysterious enemies can leap out from the shadows to you. As you decide to leave her dead uncle on the stoop and close the door, bolting it behind. It's a little bit of his blood right there on the sort of warped wood right on the doorway, because if you remember, the first blow came as he was exiting. So there are memories of the incident not that long past that are still going to be in here with you as you find yourself in this home. Decorated surprisingly high ceilings, like probably this building was not originally built by a halfling, but it's seemingly that based on the furniture and the height and the level at which the scale of things, that it has been the home of a small family. You would gather, based on the fact that there are wooden toys and also some things for cooking that would not be appropriate for just one. But clearly this was a homestead, and it's relatively large. As mentioned before, there are 5 rooms in here, of which you find yourself in the great room.
Quick question.
Yeah.
You say relatively high ceilings. Do you mean for halflings or in general?
So basically human height.
Okay.
It's still going to be, you'll be able to fit in it, but you're not, it's going to be bad on your back.
Just want to know how hard Dave is stooping.
At least from our vantage point, are all the windows and doors closed?
All of the windows and doors in here have actually been boarded up.
Good.
Everything except the front door has been boarded up. And relatively recently, based on the fact that there's no dust on them or anything, and you can see like the nails haven't been rusted where they poke through. This is a relatively recent job. You're not stooping too bad, Dave. You can't stand up at full height. You just have to have bad posture.
Just a good slouch, yeah.
Yeah.
I've introduced myself to you people. Who are you? And describe yourselves.
Dave, who has taken charge of holding the lantern as the tallest in the group, sort of shakes a little bit and just goes, Dave. Dave is a 9-foot, like half-ton ogre. He's having a bad time, man. He is buddies with halflings. That's his whole like backstory. He does not love the slaughter of halflings. You guys are his little buddies now, just so you know. It's going to be a little patronizing, probably. He's not smart.
Oh, hi, Dave.
But friends. He's also a bloodthirsty murderer, but like little buddies. Tusks.
Of course. I'm a character with no name, you might say, because I definitely haven't shared one. But I have introduced everyone to my blade, and it's a little bit of a thief's knife that I keep handy. No reason, just
Casual.
Are you a human?
Oh, I'm very human. Thanks for asking. Your buddy Jack too. It's very nice to meet you. Sorry for your loss.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Nameless individual.
They literally call her the Nameless One. That's how they refer to her, as Nameless.
Oh, it's mysterious. I like it. I like it when someone has like a mystique about them,
Well, you're in luck because I'm not explaining anything about myself.
Next.
After you, old boy.
Is that me?
You want to go, Detective De La Soul?
Joe De La Soul?
I could go ahead. Dumont De La Soul. I've been away for quite some time, but I've come back into the world of investigation. Very cultured, well-traveled individual. I might have a bit of a problem with the drink and the opium and the drugs and the other things, but they help me solve cases. They help me solve cases. They help me think better. So like, chances are there'll probably be a lot of things that you'll miss, and I'll be the one to pick them up. I can't help that fact because I can't help that I have a superior intellect. It's okay. Everybody has their thing. Other than that, don't worry. We'll solve it. Everything will be fine.
You're also a human?
Very much so.
Cool.
To be human is to err, after all.
Yeah, it is. Aaron killing. Okay, anyway, next.
I'm Lincoln. I'm an elf. I'm tall for an elf. I'm slender. I am fucking wasted right now. I definitely have a drinking problem, and I'm doing my best to get in on Dumas' drug problem. That's my goal, is to get in on that shit. And,
what drug problem? I have no drug problem.
So ambitious, aim high.
Drug solution, let's call it from now on. And yeah, I'm here, and I'm just doing my best to stand upright at the moment.
So, yeah, as you look about these, Dave, you will not have to hold the lantern if you don't want to, because there are actually like sconces in here to hold that. Since you are in his home, you can leave those lit like on the.
I think it makes him feel better.
Just to have something to grip onto. Yeah, you can definitely detach it and hold on to it if you prefer. It is meant for him to be able to. Obviously, this halfling owned a number of lanterns that could be detached or attached, because obviously it was a dairy farm, so he would have taken the lanterns out with him to do chores in the dim light. He would have needed things to carry with him. They're smaller than you would have back home, but he clearly was running himself a little self-sustaining business here. You can see he has wheels of cheese and things like that have just now started to show a little bit of mold on the exterior, but with a knife will easily be able to be salvaged.
I will have
There's
a
food
small
in
nibble.
here.
I will have
Yeah.
a nibble of cheese.
Yeah, the side of food is a good thing for sure, and it is a delicious sharp cheddar. It's very good.
Ooh, damn.
So there is whatever happened here happened at some point relatively recently.
Listen, I know that you guys are here doing something, but I'm here to find a will. So I'm going to go try to do that.
All right.
Where there's a will, there's a way.
Yes.
Yeah.
The kind of enthusiasm that I need. Thank you.
All right. Do you want to start searching the various counters and chests and drawers and things like that to see what you uncover?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right. Jack goes about opening the drawers.
I'd like to volunteer to help look as well.
Okay.
And if no one's looking, I might try and pocket.
You can't get anything by pocketing a will.
No, you can keep the will. Just, any other like trinkets I might come across that.
That's fine.
Very possible. All right.
I pray that you live to see whatever it is that you look to inherit.
Thank you.
What a weird way of wording that.
That seems rather ominous. Are you just saying that because you're smart?
Stating the obvious again, are we? So while they're doing that, there was a room that this thing jumped out from, last I recall, correct?
So you saw it jump. It crossed over in front of where a little bit of light was creaking through the boards and the windows, and you saw the shape. So it would have been the back wall from where you were looking in through the front door. There are two rooms over in that direction.
I very much want to investigate that area.
All right. To the back. Okay. So first, let's see if we figure out if any of you folks find anything. Go ahead and actually roll me some awareness checks, which you'll find those under your perception skills. This goes for Jack and the nameless one, please.
I rolled a 35.
All right. And what is your percentage chance to succeed at that?
55.
All right. That is definitely a success.
I rolled a 92 and then didn't bother looking at my percentage.
You don't have, yeah, you didn't make it. Okay. So immediately, most of this is pretty orderly, Jack. I mean, you've been to this home before once. It's been a few years. Most of the time you would see him as when he would come to town in order to buy supplies to take back to the farm, because this place is like the sticks. It's a good 5 days from nowhere. So that being said, you knew that he was very meticulous about keeping a diary that he would always, and as you kind of look about, you see a page that's been torn out rather hastily and sort of like angrily. It almost looks like there's like some sort of fluid on it, like something destroyed, like what would have been his diary. And there's a page laying on the ground underneath one of the dressers.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and pick that puppy up.
Yep. Unfortunately, I actually wrote these out and I was going to give these to you to read, but Zoom doesn't let me transfer files. So.
Actually, I don't mean to stop you. I'm incredibly illiterate.
All right. That's
above average illiteracy.
Incredibly.
But you probably have seen his journal before, and even though you can't read it, you can definitely tell that it was his writing. And so you found something.
Hey guys, I can't read this, but this is definitely my dead uncle's writing. Would you mind? I mean, I know this is a shortcoming of mine that I'm revealing to you very early, but I swear, I have so many other hidden talents.
It was very bold of you to come full circle. Would anyone like to read the note?
Dave turns to the inspector. This is not Dave's wheelhouse.
I'm also very dumb.
Have I left the scene already, or am I still there?
You know, it's a big house by these standards, but it's not so big you can't hear them talking about this. You're just sort of at the back of the room. Do you want to read the note for them?
I'll come back, but not before being cheeky, but like, yeah, I'm gonna come back. So you mean to tell me that I have to come all the way back here to read something in the middle of a case?
Right. I mean, I could have read it. I just didn't.
I didn't know everyone was going to roll super stupid characters.
Okay, just very annoyed. Very annoyed, almost like I'm babysitting. I just read it.
All right. Do you want to read it aloud, or do you want to read it to yourself?
Oh. Let me read it to myself first.
I hate you for that.
All right.
Bastard move. Hey, can you read this? Yeah.
So, Shug, these words are for you only. I wish this would be a perfect time at the table because I could hand you a note, but I'm going to have to read it aloud. You're going to have to pretend you don't hear what this says. But Shug, you hear this. It says, Liam's journal entry number 912. My joints and muscles ache fiercely, more and more with each passing year, but it is welcome trade I make for the blessings I have received. The family gathers from leagues apart, from Jack and Jim and Flora and Farah, and all the cousins from Pam's side and back up mine. It took us 60 winters to acquire a place we could call our family home, and I will spend the next 60 celebrating it. This farm, these cows, these trees, this peace is our new legacy, and every year that we can gather and feast in celebration and dance and song is worthy of a life well lived. On the 12th day of the gathering, I plan on passing this on to one of my kin. Let this sturdy place be a lasting dedication to the legacy of the labor it took to acquire it.
That's it?
That's all that's on the page. It's remember the diary has been torn up, and so that is the only that's the only page that was found.
So just to make sure in my head before I say whatever it is I say, so it was said that it was going to be passed on to a next of kin. It never named anybody specifically. Is that correct?
It did not. It just simply mentioned that this is his farmstead and that he was gathering his family to have a celebration.
Where's the rest of the diary?
I don't know. It's a good question. Might be around.
Well, as it seems, we have another mystery on our hands.
Hey man, what's it say? What's on that piece of paper you just read?
Well, my dear mysterious one, I had a nice little read of it, and apparently he was looking very, very forward to a celebration amongst his family, including the young one that's come about our party. But there seems to be a bit of a discrepancy that we won't be able to fill in the blanks unless we happen to get the diary. You said that you were coming into an inheritance. Was that correct?
Yes. I have an invitation.
You have an indication, and that indication was who?
An invitation.
Ha! Who's smart now?
Last I checked the dictionary, an invitation is not the same as an indication, my dear, unless someone put in writing that you are supposed to be getting an inheritance. You were merely invited for a party.
No, I was invited to the party to get an inheritance. That's what the party's for.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Why do you think these ceilings are so high? It's made for halflings that like to party. We like to stand on stools and be tall.
We do love that. Yes.
That makes sense.
Can we stand on the stools? Let's stand on the stools.
So,
Careful.
so ladies, you wouldn't happen to mind if I was in the mood to completely change my plans earlier, and instead of search for what's going on with that halfling, you wouldn't mind if I, found the rest of the diary and, made sense of the entire story. Would that be okay?
Think that if you made a Venn diagram, I'm not even supposed to know what that is. What you want to do and what I want to do and what you were doing before all overlap. So you know what? Sure.
I now have a new keen interest because I want the full picture of this story. And deep down inside, I just feel like I'm not being told everything. But that's just me. I have an inquisitive nature. So now I want to find the rest of the diary.
I'm going to go wash my pants. I feel very uncomfortable as the blood is drying.
It's you kind of saw as you came up that the well was outside. So
Go wash your
there
pants.
may be water in here. There is a washroom, but is there water that was brought in is the real question.
Let me check. Is there?
Do you want to make your way back to the washroom by yourself?
Yes, to the washroom by myself. Yes.
You want to go ahead and light a lantern to go with you because only the great room is lit at this point.
Yes, I would like to take a little lantern out of its sconce. Is that what that's called?
Yeah, you could take that and light it up with the help of Dave's lantern. No reason to waste a
Dave,
tinder
down
stick.
here, Dave. Thank you very much. You're the best, Dave.
This was sort of the way that Dumas was heading earlier, sort of down and to the right side of it.
Back and to the left.
To the
All
left.
right.
Back and to the left.
And as you do that, why don't you go ahead and roll me an awareness check?
Is that a
Shinzi?
D100?
It is, and your awareness skill is one of your perception skills.
Oh dear. Well, I rolled a 68 and my perception is a 37.
So, yeah.
You don't notice shit about shit, huh?
I'm not smart. I just kill things. It's all I've done ever.
Like, I just rolled a laundry check.
You make your way back towards where you know the washroom would be. You know enough about structures to know where the basically the tile and like the stone corner room would be. It's not hard to figure out. It looks a little messier back here on the ground, but you just have the one handheld lantern. Do you want to light the other lanterns in the house as you proceed inward?
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea.
Place?
Yes.
All right. You kind of do that, and you make your way into the washroom, and you light it. And why don't you go ahead and roll me a resolve test, which is a willpower test.
Oh, I passed that. I rolled a 1, baby.
All right. Actually, in addition to doubles being criticals, if they're successes, 0-1 is also always a critical success. Worth noting. 0-1 is always critical, and then 0-0 is definitely critical failure. So luckily, your hard life of like seeing horrifying things prepares you for what you're about to see. As you light the room in the washroom, you see the tub, finely made, obviously built for like halfling hands, and you can see that old, brackish, horrible, stinking blood is dripping off the sides of it. And as you light the room, some unusual shadow bugs scatter themselves off the floor and shimmer up the walls and seem to disappear. However, do it.
I say, huh.
Yeah. Yep. You have it's an unnerving sight, but it doesn't strike you at all. Go ahead and give yourself 2 points towards your order alignment. No, up at the top of your sheet. You were able to weather a pretty hideous sight. Something happened in here at some point. It's pretty gross. And to answer the initial question, no, there's no fresh water.
Damn it, if I bathe my pants in this, they're just gonna get more bloody.
All right. Meanwhile, back in the other room, you see her wander down the hallway and see the light sort of flicker. She's lighting the other lamps as you go. Do you all want to go on a hunt to see if you can find the rest of this diary? Or is this something that Dumas is going to do on his own?
Are there windows in this house that we're in?
Yes, they're all boarded up.
Oh. Well, then that does me no good for looking outside, does it?
You can actually, they're pretty hastily done, and obviously by somebody who sort of did it in a panic. So they're not particularly well done. You can easily see through gaps if you wanted to put your eyeball up to it and take a look outside.
Yeah, that's going to be my position for a while, is just head against a board looking through a crack.
All right.
Don't worry, guys. I'm on the lookout. We're fine.
I have a question that may be dumbassed here. In terms of boarding up the windows, since this is mostly like general human height at home, like, is it just generally like easier to see over the top boards because like they just couldn't reach? Would that be a reasonable assertion?
The gaps are definitely bigger up there. He put boards that obviously like went over the precipice of the window, but he wasn't as careful in terms of making sure there were no gaps at the top. So yeah, it's easier to see out there, but there's no empty like space. There's no huge gaping hole. He didn't do that bad of a job.
Is red fog gonna get in there?
It looks like the glass is intact underneath it.
Cool.
Yeah, you can kind of see it. You can see that it's. So, are the two of you both going to go and look outside?
I think Dave's gonna make some anxious peeks every now and then, but in general is good with like great room management and also lantern holding.
All right. Both of you make eavesdrop checks for me.
All right. What does that one fall under?
It's under perception.
Perception. Okay.
Yeah.
So if I get a 1 and 2 zeros, that's 100, right? That's like bad.
That is bad. 100 is the worst possible.
Damn.
Is that what happened?
I didn't hear anything.
I rolled a 94. I don't know this shit about shit.
Yeah.
I see that there is a board. Like, I'm staring at the board.
I imagine that you're just a little too queasy to get too close to really get a good look. You almost have the courage to go look outside, and then you're like,
just major butch out, just like, nope, I didn't hear nothing, and it's fine. It's fine.
I think if I remember, I was going to say one of my skills is a danger sense. I'm wondering how I feel as I approach that other side of the home yet to be explored. Like, kind of like trying to feel that out.
There's a general sense of unease about everything that you've done for the last few days, and that sense of unease is getting stronger. But you don't see. There's nothing about the house in particular that puts you at worry.
I feel comfortable exploring for the diary then.
All right. So, Anton, what did you get on that eavesdrop check?
I rolled a 30.
All right. that's going to be a success for you, and you can kind of get your eye up there and peer out. You've got the shakes a little bit, probably. You're a little intoxicated.
I'm used to it. It's fine.
Right. The red fog has definitely enveloped the whole house at this point. And you watch and you keep your eye out there. And at various points, you swear, it's not shadow monsters that are playing tricks on you. It's not like DTs or anything like that. You see shadows of things sort of slither by. And at least in one case for sure, you're certain that something looked back at you as it walked by.
Gotcha.
All right.
Look
All right.
back at it. Look back at it. Shut it. Oh, sorry.
Yes. All right. Dumas, you want to do some investigating? See if you can find some more pictures of this.
I'm looking for the diary or anything of interest about our situation. Also, did the nameless one say they're coming with me?
Yeah, I'll look around. I'm down. I'm not really doing much else.
So, for the record, I do things by the book. If
Oh my God.
I catch you
I'm gonna
trying
get
to
a
do something
speech.
outside of my book,
I'm here to help you. I'm getting a speech. Okay, bring your book. Let's have a good time looking for stuff.
All right.
right?
Both of you roll me a scrutinize check when you can.
Got it.
I got 52.
13.
All right. What is your chance to succeed on scrutinize?
48.
All right. Unfortunately, not. But and you see this, Jack. It looks like Dumas found another page of the diary. It actually was over by the stove in the kitchen. Like the stove is a wood-burning standard stove, like you would find basically in any farmhouse.
All right.
There's some old tea that has been on there that has just now started to like grow mold and fuzz on the top of it.
Ooh, my favorite kind.
So it's old, but it's not like too old, if that makes sense.
No cheese is too old.
Yeah.
Can I read the diary page?
You can. You can. This is Liam's journal number 926. You'll remember the first one was 921.
That's correct.
Glad you remembered that.
They are delayed in their arrival to the homestead, and I'm uncertain why. The sanctuary of the grove feels tenuous and tense in a way I'm not sure I could explain. The birds are quiet, the game is distant. The leaves wilted and forlorn, the breeze more of a sigh. And more curiouser perhaps than that, a strange red pinkish fog tickles up on the doorsteps of the barn every day, seemingly lingering more each time. I've not seen such things since my time in the Navy, and I don't know what it portends. I can tell you that the dogs won't go near it. Oh well, perhaps it is my old age and the forlorn nature of missing my kin. I do so hope they arrive quickly. This place is lonely, and it does my heart good to feel the hearth and the fireplace with warmth.
Can I make my way back to the group?
You can. You can. Do you want to tell them about the things that you're finding?
Yes.
All right.
Am I to them? Can I start telling them?
Oh yeah, you can.
Okay.
It's not that big of a place.
hey guys. So as a slayer, I see a lot of creepy things, and I've definitely seen something that qualifies as a creepy thing. In the washroom, there is a bathtub filled with blood, and shadow creatures scurried up the walls when I came and looked at it. Also, that's why my pants are still bloody. No judging.
I am like a fat kid at a buffet the moment that she tells me this, because I just have to know what's going on. I'm so intrigued, I pull out my magnifying glass. I want to go where it's at. Take me there.
All right. You want to go look at the blood in the bathtub?
I absolutely want to investigate all of that. I want to see the bathroom.
That sounds incredibly exciting. I'd also like to go.
All right, everybody wants to pile
Party!
into the bathroom. Yep.
Sort of.
Yeah.
Dave's gonna linger at the back, sort of keep an
Nice.
eye on the great room and also where like the door is in general.
And you have the vantage point for the light to just cast this great wall of warmth.
I got angles. It's the flattering light.
You're important, and I appreciate you.
Right.
I'm gonna stay put and keep my eye on the obvious awful things that are going on outside. But you guys, let me know what you find.
Do you want to tell them about the things you're seeing?
Yeah, I'm just gonna be like, yeah, there's stuff out here too. I got it. Don't worry.
Wait, you got it? What?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
That's cool. That's cool, man.
All right. So you head into the washroom. The light had been, a lantern had been lit in here to kind of give it that flickering light. And certainly as she described, there is a fair amount of blood in this tub that has been spilling over onto the top.
Now, I didn't do this. This was like this. It's not that time of the month for me. Ladies know what I mean. Wait, am I the only lady here? I don't even know.
I'm a lady.
Oh, okay.
Cool. Cool. This is cool.
Everything's fine, guys. Everything's fine. You know what? I'm actually going to have everybody except for Sarah roll me a resolve check upon seeing this grisly scene.
If any of you vomit, it's going to be the most exciting thing I've seen today.
Oh, I'm gonna vomit at some point. I promise.
Yeah.
Anton, you are also exempt from this because you didn't go into the room with the blood.
I assume.
Rolled an 82. Dave's having a bad day, man.
Dave is having a bad day. Dave is definitely freaking out.
Bad damn day.
I pet Dave gently on the arm.
I've got
the knee.
I've got impervious mind skill, and I rolled a 39.
You're fine.
Rolled a 39, but I'm incredibly adaptable.
So you're good. Yeah, 39 would have done it for you anyway. But yeah, you guys are both fine. Only poor Dave is. And how did the nameless one do? Actually?
Yeah, I rolled a 65.
Not great.
No.
Yeah, this is sort of giving you some concern.
It's giving me something to think about, really.
Both of you experience take 8 peril from fear.
Take 8 peril.
So you look at the right side of your sheet, it'll say your peril threshold.
Okay.
And tell me if that number is less than 8.
Oh no.
Okay, totally, yeah.
In both your cases?
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
All right, so on the character sheet, there's underneath the difficulty rating, it's on the right side of the front page of the sheet. It says peril threshold, the peril condition track. It should be 3 plus your willpower bonus should be filled in there. Do you have that?
Okay. No, but I have a willpower of 41%.
All right, what is
your 7?
Your WB? Okay. So you have moved down that peril condition track from unhindered to imperiled. You're starting. You see how it goes down on that?
Yep.
And what is your? What is your WB? It should be next to your willpower stat. There should be a little box there.
-1.
Okay, so you're actually. So you had a 41% -1.
Yeah.
You have a 3 willpower bonus.
3.
So your 3 plus your willpower bonus is 6. So you are also imperiled.
Thank you. Thank you for letting me.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. The good news is that doesn't affect your ability to do anything at this point. It just means you're kind of on edge.
Gotcha.
Got like you haven't seen the sight of blood before. Please pull yourselves together.
So that's sort of your mental stress HP as you experience horrors and go through them. You don't want that to. That can also defeat you eventually if you.
It has in life many times.
Yes. Same for sure. So the sight of this is, and probably more accurately, the smell of it is a little disconcerting because it's fresh enough to still be rank. It's not so old that it is just sort of faded away. It's sort of got that heavily like metallic smell to it when you can smell your own blood. Yeah, you know the.
Oh yeah, I sniff my blood all the time. So. Now that I brought the smart person to the problem, I'm going to go back to the elf.
All right.
Okay.
Dave's going to follow. Dave's going to go ahead and get
Be like, nope, not dealing with the bathroom.
Nope.
All right.
Just imagine an ogre. Nope.
He may have even actually been backing away, like, as soon as, like, just like, nope.
If we
Dave's
were playing,
touched
if we were playing Resident Evil, this is when a dog would jump through a window.
So that reminds me, since you mentioned Resident Evil, is this the kind of tub full of blood where I can't see the bottom?
Nope.
I can't see. If I pulled a drain, would I be able to?
The drain. There's not really a drain on it because this place doesn't have plumbing.
Sure.
So you have to empty it out with a bucket. The bucket is actually nearby, and there is no blood in it.
Okay. I mean, I'm curious what's in there. I don't know.
It's certainly blood. So okay.
Yeah.
So we'll start with
Suds in the bucket.
So we'll start with Dumont. Tell me what you want to do here.
Oh boy, I didn't want to have to do it, but I feel like this is gonna tell me a lot. I get myself a little like okay. Here's my question. Let me check my inventory real quick.
All right.
And whatever it is, we have a bucket too.
Okay.
Add a bucket to your inventory list. Yes.
Just one bucket. No blood.
Nameless one. I hate to be a bother, but do you have anything of a intoxicating sort on you right now? Like anything to drink, anything to,
Let me check my gimmick. I don't know if it's what you're looking for. I have some folk bane.
Will that work?
It's a poison. You
Never
don't
mind.
want it.
Poisons. Maybe I don't know what you.
Never mind.
It'll work.
Choke you a little.
I'll try to. Hey. Might be into that. Let me try to investigate it without getting fucked up first.
Sure, you're capable. What did you say, Jack? I couldn't.
I have mandrake root.
Do you? There you go. That would.
Would that take me there?
You could. Do you want to try investigating without getting twisted first, or do you want to just go straight to the?
You want to sip on that mandrake.
Right. All right, I'm gonna try it without getting fucked up. But now that I know that she's got it, like this is good.
All right.
I don't want to go into my own personal stash unless it gets wild.
All right. Roll me a scrutinize test. Get them dice working today.
4.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. This is notable because the blood in this tub is very likely normal, like
icon.
Bipedal, regular blood. This is not the blood of her dead great uncle that you found outside. It's not the same. This was a living thing.
Uh-huh.
And it looks like normal halfling blood, basically.
It appears the game is afoot.
And on top of that, underneath the tub, there is a blood-splattered page from the diary.
I must read it.
All right. You pick up the journal and you read it. This is Liam's journal, entry number 931.
Liam.
So he's 10 days into his the dogs were taken by the fog today, and I don't think there's much left. I can't see out the front, and I dare not open the doors or the windows, even during the highest noon, whatever that might be anymore. Each day it recedes for an hour or so, and I've learned to schedule for how to track it so that I can gather firewood to make a place for myself here. This home is now my prison, and if any of my kin come to feast, I hope they have turned back. I certainly hope they have turned back. And on the bottom of this page is actually a series of times and markers that he has used to know when he can safely go outside.
What time is it now? And how does that correlate with what's going on?
Looks like there will be a receding fog based on your understanding of these symbols. And remember, you guys approached this house kind of towards mid-morning. It was pretty early in the day when you found the house. It looks like sometime in like the early afternoon. So in a couple hours, the fog will recede according to what he's saying here.
Damn. Okay.
But then again, the fog was receded when you first approached. So maybe you're reading the symbols wrong.
Oh, this is no good. Okay. What room has not been explored yet?
The other side of the house where the bedrooms are. There are 2 bedrooms on the other side of the hall.
That's where I'm headed.
All right.
Although I am going to yell before I get ready to go ahead and do it. Not to be a bother, but you probably don't want to be too close to the windows or the doors. I'll explain later.
Noted. Thanks.
I say.
Dave's gonna scoot closer to the fireplace. Partly because I keep hearing about it and I feel like it's relevant, but I'm just gonna say Dave doesn't know and he's just gonna feel safer by it.
Sure.
Shenzi
Do you want to
pats
actually
Dave.
light a fire in the fireplace? Sorry, sir.
You know what? I think that might make Dave feel better
Okay.
since he's feeling good about the lantern. Make it feel
Alright.
cozy. Shake the blood off.
All right. Sorry, Sarah, what were you saying?
Oh, Shenzi pats Dave again before going to talk to the elf, by the way.
Dave does appreciate it.
All right. Dave, go ahead, and as you go this, it'll be very easy. You don't need to roll a check to make the fire. You're in a controlled environment. It's very easy to do. And there's
Gotta
dried
hand it.
firewood. There is some extra firewood here, so he'd stocked up a little bit. So, but go ahead and roll me an awareness check on your perception as you do so.
God damn, I feel like this is gonna be another clunker. 5! I rolled a 5! I'm not checking shit.
All right. As you bring the light closer to it, you see the glint of a single page of text that is in the fireplace that had made its way in there, and can immediately snatch it away before you accidentally burn it to ash.
Dave grabs it. He knows there's been a big fuss about paper, and he holds it over his head, bumps the fist on the ceiling, and he goes, "Paper! Paper!"
What do you say, Jabal? Do you want to translate the paper?
I absolutely do. I'm going to read it to myself first, though.
All right. He is the entire source of all of your information. You rely on Dumas to tell you what these things say and what the clues might hold. All right. This is journal number 935. It was only a matter of time. Pam and I were careless today, and it's worse than I thought. The fog is full of horrors I can't speak of, that my simple tongue cannot translate. It is doom itself, and it has come for us. It makes sense as to why we are alone here. This is the passing, I know it. I thought based on tale and song that it would be a quick and painless thing, but no, it traps you in your mind and your home and lets you reflect on all the wrong you have done. I'm not sure what I need to do or say to make it stop, but I've slaughtered and salted all the cattle and kept a fair stockpile buried in the ground underneath the floorboards beneath my bed. If I must wait to find penance, I will do so with many years' worth of food and a sturdy shelter. But the bite this monstrosity left on me seems to infect quicker than mold in the heaviest swamp.
Fucking zombies.
Yeah.
I don't want to panic anyone, but we're in very grave danger. We're fighting something that we have. I sit down and I light another cigarette. All right. This fog, apparently, from what I'm reading, has driven your uncle mad. And anyone that's enveloped within it, it causes them to see things, visions, go crazy. I'm willing to deduce that the blood that probably was in that bathroom may have come by your uncle's own hand before he got turned. But, you know, I'm still putting the pieces together. That said, from what I read in the letter, they said that there is livestock and other things hidden under the bed. Is that correct?
He said he had slaughtered livestock and had stashed a bunch of things. He'd salted it and stashed a bunch of things under the bed.
Okay. Apparently there are some things hidden. I need to check this out. This is what I need from all of you. Stay close. Don't go near the windows or the doors. I will go look for this, and then whatever I find, I'll bring back.
Specific. Love it.
Can I peek out the window and say, as I sidle up to the elf, say, "What do your elf eyes see?"
What do your elf eyes?
If only he was paying attention to my very good joke that made everyone else laugh.
So you're gonna notice that I have passed out.
You were playing this character to the bone, man. I swear to God.
There's no metagaming here. It's just 100%.
Right.
All right.
I'm going to the bedroom that's been talked about to see what's in this stash.
All right. Do you want to leave Lincoln sort of leaning against the he's kind of passed out like I used to on the school bus where my head would be leaning up against the seat in front of me.
I'm going to give him a light slap. I'm going to give him a light slap to the face.
Just kind of see if you can rouse him.
Yes.
I'll leave that up to you, Lincoln.
To the butt at the same time.
Right.
Like we had the same idea, but we did it differently.
Right.
So you get the top cheek, you get the bottom cheek, it takes the screenshot.
Right.
I get what you're saying there. Lincoln, I'll let you decide whether that rouses you or not.
Yeah, I awaken with a start and I go, "You're not my real dad."
Nor would I ever wish to be. And then I go to the bedroom.
What?
I just wanted to know what your elf eyes saw.
There's red, and there's some things creeping around out there. And then I saw the back of my eyelids for a while.
What do you mean things creeping around out there? You got any details on that? You want to share?
No, that's a good question. It's a good question. So when I was looking out there, I saw these things, and they were creeping around out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
Big time.
I would like to pull out my holy symbol and kiss it twice, and then put it back.
Do I know any
Not a bad
folk
idea.
with these stories of creeping around and all this blood that I've heard a few times now? Does this ring any bells in my folklore skill?
Give it a shot.
Okay.
Roll me some folklore dice and let's find out.
Sure. I got 6, so
Yep.
I feel pretty confident about it.
Definitely. Yeah, these are the madness is a little unusual, certainly, but these are definitely similar to like ghouls would be the closest thing that they would be called. Like living, like rotting flesh, usually sort of stitched together and like given life by some sort of unnatural means. There's a lot of stories about that.
Okay.
And this is clearly what this is. You've never heard of it happening from fog before, but it feels very similar.
Okay. Hey, Groot, I don't want to freak anybody out, but I think this is some ghoul stuff going on. And
It's pretty cool.
weird, this danger is real. This is something that, I don't know, I'm just concerned. I don't know what else to say.
All right.
General concern.
You want to make...
Sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I'm just really imagining just a rogue sitting there. I am concerned.
So
Fucking eye patch just like,
what's the deal with ghouls? You know?
They're just like rotted flesh come to life, animated by some source that is clearly around.
Yeah, do we know
that
Do you know what?
It's danger zone.
Danger zone.
Out, like why these schools are like here specifically?
I mean, you're from here, Jack. You tell me. This is your folks.
No, I'm not actually from here. I'm from far
Okay.
away, but I was here for a party for an inheritance,
Okay.
which I
Okay.
can't
There's a lot happening. I'm panicking.
unless we figure out this ghoul bullshit.
Am I from here?
No.
Am I
No,
from-
you travel the roads you've been through before, but years ago it wasn't really like this.
And I'm not related to her or the uncle, correct?
Nope.
Me?
Nope. You are your own person.
Aw. We all
You
are.
hit the roads alone. But do you want to head into the master bedroom to see if you can find the last of it? Is that what the lot of you want to do?
Yes.
Tepidly.
All right.
Weren't we not told? We weren't told that it was
Tepidly.
massive.
I don't know. Did you did you tell them? I know you said. Did you tell them about the
I let them
stash?
know that I was gonna go up. I let them know that I was gonna go up on my own. I did tell them to stick together.
Stay close.
All right.
Rule number 1.
All right. So you can tell the bedroom is kind of is a source of pride. It's where he has furniture that's well crafted and extremely well made. Like really the fact that he was able to ascend himself to own this property, which was probably built by men, long before he had it, and he worked so long, like he said, to acquire the wealth to do it, is a big source of pride. That being said, he has a very solid oak bed frame with posts that reach nearly the ceiling. And if in fact he's done something under there, it's going to take a pretty good amount of strength to move it. You're actually a little curious as to how he was able to do it in the first place.
Dave!
Dave pokes his head in. Lantern first.
Whoa.
My very humongous friend. I need a favor.
Move this.
Sorry, my big friend.
Move this.
Whatever you choose to do, move it, smash it.
It's nice craftsmanship. He's not gonna fucking smash it. Don't be rude. But he definitely absolutely just grabs post.
All right.
You want me to roll some shit for that? I can. Otherwise,
I do. You have there's a skill called athletics, which is under brawn.
All right. Cool. I took a little boy in that because that was one of my skill things that I can do.
So add 10% to your brawn score.
All right. I'm bad at percentile dice, so I have to go to Googling roll D100 every time.
You're fine.
There we go. All right, so I got a 40. I rolled a 47, and my base brawn is 52 plus that 10%.
Yeah. So Dave grabs the bed and really with just one hand is able to easily pull the enormous oak frame out of the way, creaking it along the way. As you see this, and it's very clear to Dumont, probably not that difficult for the rest of you with the light getting in here, it's very obvious where the floorboards are fresh, as if new ones have been put in. And it's also very clear that there are droplets of blood around where those fresh boards are.
Dave is going to look at the underside of the bed. Not that that's necessarily productive. He just sees blood on the floor and thinks surely there's something under the bed.
The will?
He just moved. The one he just moved.
There is actually no blood on the mattress or the frame itself or the underside of it.
Well, that's good news for Dave.
All right, let's stop messing about. I'm pulling up. Is there a way to pull up the floorboards?
Yeah, they're pretty recently put in. It looks like they were done pretty hastily, much like the boards that are covering the doors. You want to pull that open and get to the trove, so to speak. All right. Let's see. All right, I want everybody to go ahead and roll me a willpower check, specifically resolve. If you have the resolve skill, you can add your points to that.
A bad time. Nope.
Okay. I got 13.
All right, very good.
44.
Yeah, that's a critical success.
64.
That's probably a failure, I'm guessing.
It sure is.
Poor Dave.
Because you had a bad Dave.
Yes, he had a bad Dave. All right.
I got 42.
Nice.
There's this. All right, Jack, how did you do?
I rolled a 100.
So poorly is what you're saying? Critically poorly? Yeah, that will all make sense here in a moment. And all right, let's see.
Oh man.
All right.
All in this together.
As you pull up the boards, immediately a withered, like grasping, like thrashing arm comes like thrusting itself out of the ground and goes right for Dumas' hands, but he sees it coming quickly enough that he jumps back. As he jumps back away, and all of you are aware, the floorboards creak and break as the long, stringy, like seaweed-like hair of another halfling, like clearly a woman, is crawling out from where she looks like her grave. And in the light, you can clearly see like knife wounds that were placed in her back that have like rotted and become up, and she's crawling out and sort of making a hideous snarl and coming towards all of you.
Wow.
So,
My aunt, like, under
yeah,
the
you
rock.
just saw your great aunt was buried under the bed and
Not
has
cool.
come back. And it's not great. It's not doing wondrous things for you. So you're going to take a pretty decent amount of stress from this. You take 14 points of peril due to fear. That might move you down the track too. Depends on what you're.
Ooh, yeah.
Okay.
So mine's a 7. So 2.
Yep.
Okay.
So you moved from to ignore one skill rank. So that means basically when you roll a skill that you're proficient in,
Yeah.
you unfortunately cannot use your skill rank bonuses until you calm yourself, until you can get yourself right.
You have a nice spa day.
Yep, exactly. So you see this sort of crawl out on all fours, hissing at you as it comes out of the floor. Its face is covered from where it has been like feasting on like the meat that he buried underneath there. So it's like it's got the rotting flesh like all in its teeth, and it's making threatening gestures towards you and is ready to lash out. And as it is 6:55, that is where we will conclude our game for the evening as the hideous thing approaches you.
Well, look, I've been detecting my ass off this episode. Y'all need to get the fighting on the next one because that's not where I excel.
You did a good job of putting it together. So just above board, what do you guys think has happened? It feels like you've got a pretty good idea of what's going on here.
Sophie has a great idea. Dave does not.
Tell me what Sophie thinks. We won't hold Dave to that.
Like I'm over here like, oh, it's zombies. That's Pam under the bed. Just like soft. Like this is why I can't watch horror movies with people because I'm like, the whole time.
Oh damn!
This is some Pet Cemetery stuff going on right now.
Yep. You only managed to take a little bit of stress, and now when we get back to it, we'll get to the fight. We'll get to do some more violence, but yeah, you did a great job. There's still some more pages of the diary to find, and there's still like a lot more things to do in terms of surviving the horror of this place and figuring out how to escape the fog. So, yeah.
Hell yeah.
I had a ton of fun.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I'm really excited everybody could join tonight.
Always a good time.
Yeah.
So glad Dave has some little halfling pals now.
Yep. Dave actually has like abilities that trigger when halflings are near, I believe.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. I've got to run as far as it goes. When's the next one? Next week?
I think we were doing 2 weeks from today, unless you guys can all do next week, because you're out next week, right?
What was that now?
Aren't you out next week?
I have no idea. Everything going on.
I'll start an email thread with everybody, and we'll all decide together. How does that sound?
Cool.
I'll do that tonight after I watch AEW Dynamite.
Hell yeah, like we all should.
Yep.
Is that some kind of television program? What is that?
Oh wow, the marketing. You have to love it. All right, love you guys. I'll talk to you soon.
Yep. Go get warmed up, man. Go get
Bye.
warmed up.
All right, bye y'all.
Yep. See ya.
Hey.
Stretch.
So yeah, thank you everybody for joining us for this for the episode tonight. Did you guys have fun?
Yeah.
Cool.
A lot of fun.
Cool.
I'm not good at the fighting, so I'm honestly like not really very good at anything.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah,
I feel right here.
It'll be perfect. You were set to inherit this this beautiful farmhouse. Aren't you excited about that?
Yeah, once we get all the corpses out, it'll be great.
That's probably going to be yeah. That's there's going to be some weird memories of that, but there's good.
Eyeballing this like,
to
and
take
that
away.
could be a breakfast nook.
Yes.
I'm okay with a fixer-upper.
Yep. Hey, no, it's a good thing because there's gonna be fixing the floors all torn up. But
Shenzi knows a lot of ways to get blood out of various materials, so feel free to call me once you're at that stage.
all right, yeah, we will. You're gonna have. There's gonna be a long way. There's a lot to do. Let's put it that way. There are a lot of things to do, not just in this house, but in the surrounding area.
Dave will be working on organizing group therapy sessions.
Yes, you're gonna need that too. So, yeah, it's 7. We'll go ahead and call it. I want to thank everybody who contributed and joined in on the chat. Thank you to Matt for running the overlays and stuff for us. We appreciate that because I'm technologically
Thank you, Matt.
malinclined. I can do it, but I can never do 2 things at once. I'm one of those people. I cannot multitask. Right. So, yeah, I appreciate everybody's time, and let's do it again. Let's keep this going.
Hell yeah!
All right. So, thank you, and Matt, go ahead and count us out, and we will wrap up. So whenever you want to. So appreciate it. See you next time on A Match Made in Hell.